Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, we have the strategy that'll make every fading guard rage in NBA 2K26, and this is to deny the open corner side. So, you could take this strategy and implement it into 3v3 or 5v5, whichever you would like. For the 5s, you just essentially want to push the guard toward the side that has the wing spot up, aka the one that has 2 spot ups on it rather than 1. In this case though, for 3v3, you want to push him toward the side that has the corner spot up, because that is where the terrible spacing is going to be, and the guards want to operate on this side of the court more if you allow them to. They might not even know that they want to get here, but it's an intuitive thing. They understand, like, just in their bones, they feel it, that they want the side with more spacing, and that is to have this open corner side, because this is the area you can work from if you are a guard that is working on the side opposite of the corner. But when Bonnie takes away this right side right here and doesn't let the guard push right, you can see that he funnels the guard into me, who is this backside defender, and he's thinking more to himself, this is the mismatch that I want anyway. But what Bonnie's actually doing is being a wall on that right side, not allowing the guard to get to that open side of the court, and it lets me be in a spot where I have a help defender in really close proximity right there. As you can see, I already get beat early, but now I have Kitchen in the corner right here to mug up the spacing, and if they do send that guard through on the cut right there eventually, or the lock I should say, it'll just be a 2-point basket they're not exactly looking for. Now as you can see, what they do is they flip the corner, they move him across, and now I'm denying my corner instead. So all that is essentially just me showing you that these are some tactics that I want to put you guys onto in today's video, and I'm really here to try and get detailed with it. So I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all that good stuff, and like always, try to 1,000 likes. So again, with this one right here, once he is flipping this corner, I now understand that's not where I want to push him anymore. If this offensive player in the corner, this lockdown right here, was spotting up in the left corner, I want him to kind of move into that area, because I can depend on Kitchen to help me out off that like short corner area, where if the guard ends up fading to this spot, Kitchen's a jump away and I have him as a help defender. The thing is though, now that he's vacating that, you can see me completely take away that corner and force him into Bonnie in the middle, because we don't want him operating in that open side of the court anymore. Now, this is still good spacing, to be fair. This is an adjustment that the top of the top players will make, and they won't just sit there like a traffic cone. Good lockdowns that understand offensive spacing will do this inherently, like, rather than just being told to. But mind you, this is a 3v3 court setting that they're now down to 9 seconds on the shot clock, and they have to make something happen in a short amount of time, and they have limited offensive potency on the court. They have a small guard that is really all of their offense, and then they have like a big man that somewhat brings like a pop or a like roll to the table, but this lock doesn't really bring anything as far as a bag to the table at all. So they can't just pitch the ball off to him and expect him to go get a bucket, especially with a defensive, like, decent player with Kitchen on him as well. So anyway, I cut off that wing, and then as you can see, he's still moving toward that corner. I get the contest. Bonnie gets a little bit of like a box out nudge on the big man, and then Kitchen comes swooping in for the rebound off that 6'11" point guard build. Now, as you can see, we're in the stage with it as well. I'm going to be playing the on-ball role in some of these rather than the back end side. So you can see me early take away that right. I don't want him pushing this way. You can see he's even still trying to get there, but then we still force that guard over to that side. Once again, he's going to be in that corner area. I'm there to pick things up, and I'm there to also switch out after we then need to. So this is a nice 3-man switch situation where, once again, you can see, since we're pushing that guard into the corner side, Kitchen's there to play the contest, even though Tyson probably wouldn't be able to keep up. I'm going to be real with y'all. Obviously, these guards are hard to keep up with when they're the best of the best on the game. Like, I'm talking at least the top 5 percentile, if you will. And obviously, this is going to be a tough thing for just 2 people to guard when you still have to play the rebounds and the box outs as well. So since Kitchen's already there in the corner, he's there for the contest, and he's able to stay down, I'm able to go switch over to Kitchen's guy wrapping across. And as you can see, yes, it was a wide open shot, but it is still a big man later in the shot clock. No chance of a rebound for them or anything like that. It's the type of shots you want to force people to take, obviously, rather than the guard fading all game and just taking every 3 he wants. And as you can see right here, a little bit of a crash out from him. We get him raging. I can't lie. We get him thinking that he has a good shot, and then he doesn't right here as well. So once again, I just want to show just the funnel. We'll talk about some full gameplays in a second, but I'm taking that right away. I'm forcing him to the right, and ironically, look, the thing is, a lot of y'all talk about screens are broken, screens are brain dead. The thing is, some of the people using them are too. So I'm playing on ball as a 6'10", not even the lockdown. We got Tyson as the actual lockdown, and a lot of guards just like to use these screens because they feel comfortable doing it. They don't even do it for the mismatch hunt or anything like that. So the thing is, he hunted the wrong mismatch. We get our lockdown on him. I was just playing traffic cone. I was just taking away that right, forcing him that way, and then setting my lockdown up to end up on ball. The thing is, they just ran a whole pick and roll right there. They didn't even get the matchup they actually wanted to. They got a 6'9" lock on him instead of me as the 6'10", who's a lot slower and stuff. So anyway, once again, bad shot selection. Boom, we got Kitchen down low, grabbing the board. I'm down there as well, and we still would have had that corner solved as well if he were to go through on that. Okay, so as we transition over into some gameplays now of like full videos, full games of doing this tactic, I want you guys to understand going into it that it's not exactly a game breaker. It's not something that is going to force guards to score 0 points per game or something like that. Obviously, when you play against these top of the top guards, and even if this guy right here isn't a top 1% per se, he's in the stage scoring 14.5 points per game, still shooting at a good rate, and obviously still purple banner, all that stuff as well. The thing is, it's like a somewhat top tier guard. I'm not going to call him the best of the best by any means, and no hate to him. I mean, hey, cool name, shout out Kid Cudi, but anyway, point being is that this is not going to be something that gets you guaranteed stops every possession. It's just something to lean into a little bit more to just have the upper hand on these guys. And these are the types of tips I like to post on my channel, and I do still like to post as much helpful things as I possibly can, even if it is like the most game-breaking thing. If I had a way to show y'all how to stop a guard from scoring every point in the game, I would, but the thing is, it doesn't exist. Now early, I'm not going to lie to y'all, obviously you can see we didn't exactly have our defense set up how we want it. Miscommunication, whether Kitchen was going to switch out. I obviously was expecting to play a side on the screen, and then we just had Tyson and Kitchen not exactly sure which side they wanted to play on. Not to mention you can see me getting bumped the heck out of by their lockdown while trying to keep the court open for Kitchen. Look, spacing is something I really like make note of a lot, and you'll see it on our offense as well, keeping like the spacing good for Kitchen. So off rip, you can see this is one of the clips we were talking about right here. I'm not gonna lie, I called it a crash out shot. Low-key, I guess it was just a tough shot opportunity out of him, and he thought he had a good look. But still, the idea and the concept, ideology, whatever you want to call it, applies right there. That was a really good possession of just the guard thinking he had a good shot, and then it turns out that we just had a defender there in the corner to help, and they didn't have a good opportunity at that. So Kitchen's going to stall out a tad bit. We're going to go up here and get him a reset, get him the ball back up top. As you can see, gets the fade on that big man. Big man can't keep up. Unfortunately, was just a 2-point shot, but that's okay. I mean, a bucket's a bucket, obviously. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes, too, I'm going to call out that I want a side early, and it might not be the side anymore. It's a little bit of an ugly thing, and if you aren't out here, like, prepped really hard and got your, like, you know, logistics on everything with your teammates, it might be tough to actually put into action, because they might just think it doesn't make sense for you to play a certain side. Meanwhile, like I told y'all, the whole point of like where I'm playing on defense is just to be a traffic cone. It's just to take a side away from the guard. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes if I can't get back in time, I might not be able to take that side away early. So you're gonna see some miscues early because this is my first time even trying to implement this. Now, another issue that I want to say with this style, because again, I'm being real with y'all, this is not, like I said, something you can just use at all times. I'm gonna teach you how to like deal with the fact that like you're gonna have to avoid certain things like this. So if I go back just a tad bit when I'm picking my icons, because I do like to have my arrow forcing the pointing the guard if I'm gonna like play on him off rip. Mind you, I'm a 6'10" guarding stage point guards. It's not exactly the easiest thing to do in the world. But anyway, what I want you to be wary of is when the lockdowns, aka in most lineups it's the B button guy right here, or the 2 if you will. When he's trailing, it's hard to tell what side of the court he's going to go up to. So here's the thing. Now, because the lock is heading up to that left corner, I want that right side taken away early. Now, I kind of hero ball this a little bit and try and recover back to my right. Or I guess what I kind of more so should be saying is I actually didn't hero ball, and I was expecting Tyson to hopefully play my right there. So I had told Tyson I think he should play the side of wherever the corner spot up is, because I'm going to deny wherever the non-corner spot up is and push that toward him. Thing is, that's not exactly easy to see when you're in a situation like this where the lockdown is trailing the play. So here I am now. If you were in, let's say, a hypothetical like this, I think Tyson should just help me and pick up my right here rather than me going hero ball trying to run all the way across the screen and get to the right. I think if he were to then be the one to take the right away, you can still do this easily with your side's capable defense. It's just I didn't convey that information well enough to him, so then you can see we are completely miscued, and now I try and fight through it at that point, give up a wide open shot. Terrible take on defense, absolutely, you know, obviously and absolutely, I mean to say, terrible execution out of me, and I probably should have been conveying that information to Tyson a little bit better. Now that we understand it and we see that the lockdown, his tendencies, stuff like that, know how to like make up for that miscommunication, we're able to figure things out now, obviously, right? So you might need a couple of like baby steps like this with your team to implement this type of strategy. But anyway, now we're back to it. I'm not letting that guard get to my right. As you can see, guard ends up on left. Low key though, still going to be tough to guard in some cases. I mean, he shoots the peak right there between our sides. Really good execution out of him. Like I told y'all once again, you can't expect for it to just get you the stops and just like play brain dead defense at that point. You gotta like still play great execution on your defense. It's just that it's a strategy that I think is helpful for sure, but again, it's not going to be some game-breaking stuff that you guys are seeing in this video. Now, once again though, Kitchen is there to show some help out that corner. The guard's over dribbled quite a bit. He's not going to be able to consistently look for the three quite as much after doing enough dribbling. It's just a natural thing that you'll understand if you ever played guard in this game. It does feel like they make your shot harder to make if you've already dribbled for quite a long time in this game. It's not about stamina or anything like that, because that is its own entity. I'm just talking about truly over dribbling makes it feel like you do have your shot making ability like lowered. You can ask a lot of the comp guards and stuff like that as well. But again, as you can see, Kitchen there for the corner D help. I'm there to swing out, and this is the one that you saw in the intro clips where the big man just ends up shooting a shot, and then we get out on the break and score 3. I know you're probably seeing like a couple of these takes that, yeah, we got fortunate that they ended up missing kind of open shots and stuff like that, but also a lot of the times that we're showing you these clips, it was the thing that was creating us getting the win in the first place entirely. As you can see also, as they move that corner out, Tyson executes exactly what I was talking about of denying the open corner. So once he sees that wrap come, as you can see, he takes that left away. Great execution by Tyson right there. Misses the bump steal. Obviously, as you guys know, you can't really depend on those too much in this game. It's a bit unfortunate, but either way, good execution in that regard, and it doesn't get us a stop. So it's kind of, you can feel the same way about things. Now, as you can see, they run a little double screen, kind of 3-man action right there. Guard misses an open shot again. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of concepts like this that are actually kind of hard to guard, if you ask me. I think what probably should be done in this case is me and Tyson should both be playing tighter right here. But as you can see, we're kind of playing a little soft. Me and him both are. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm staying on the left of the double screens. He's staying on the right of the double screens. Kitchen's low. Thing is, nobody's there for the guard at that point. So a bit of a tough take once again defensively. It's not exactly like that was our best foot forward either. So I'm not here to deny the point guard missed a lot of open shots in this game, but at least we're making him take shots out of his comfort zone. Whether that is double screens, whether that is, you know, not being able to fade to his open corner, stuff like that. And I mean, hey, at least it's another defensive rep. As you can see, Kitchen just, you know, trying to make some nut stuff off the Dishmaster takeover with a deep bomber and all that, you know, just trying to do some ridiculous stuff. So anyway, I'm denying his right once again, pushing the guard over to corner side. Corner wraps through, so now I'm going to have Tyson play my left. He sends the big man down. He's out the way. So now we get a little bit of a situation where, once again, it's hard to tell whether we're going to like switch through all this double screen kind of 3 guys all involved up at the top offense. I don't even know if it's them really running their real O or if it's just them trolling. Either way, doesn't matter. Once again, gameplay not exactly our best foot forward. You can see the guard blitzes my ball hand right there. I end up just like losing the ball. Big man misses another open shot. It's, like I said, not exactly the best game if we're talking like the other team's best foot forward, our best foot forward, or anything like that. But again, I just wanted to show you some tactics of how we implemented them, and it at least put them into the comfort, like out of their comfort zone of taking a lot of shots they wouldn't normally take, whether that's also their role players taking shots as well, as you saw like the big man with the clock running out and they don't have time to really do a whole lot much more. I mean, he had to just take the shot between 2 defenders, though it was wide open. It's not a shot I assume he takes very consistently. I'm assuming they really rely on their guard to do a lot of their scoring for them. Alright, so next up, we have another gameplay. This is back in the park now, and this is going to be with Bonnie as the on-ball defender, me as the back end. A little bit more of a natural position for me to play. I'm not really meant to play the on-ball with 78 speed. Like, let's be real, fellas. I mean, I'm coming out here with 78 speed playing on-ball against a stage point guard in that gameplay. It's not exactly a good look, but like I told you, I was just trying to be a bit of a traffic cone and, you know, just force the guard to move into a certain spot so that I could set Tyson up into a more advantageous area to actually be able to play, like, you know, the best foot forward on defense. But anyway, this one is going to be Bonnie not having that type of information, and you'll see me kind of develop that information into his head as we get that game going. So I want you to see where we miss on a couple of opportunities to do stuff like that, and then picture what could have happened if we did. Then you'll see it get implemented later in the game. So once again, you would think by my logic right there, we want Bonnie taking away that right corner, but as you can see, he gets into that open corner, and now I'm in a bit of a desperation spot. As you can see, that's the type of thing that the guard will take if you give it to them. As you can see, Bonnie takes his left, but now I didn't know he was going to be left early, so I'm not up here super early to take away his right. The thing is, you want to impede that movement before he can even think about doing it. You want to make him think, I need to move over to the left, rather than, as you can see, a situation where I'm in a reactionary spot on defense and he hits a blowout dribble, bro, into the corner. That is tough. I'm not gonna lie. I get a little bit lucky there getting a 12% contest on the jump. I jumped pretty early in anticipation of him just obviously shooting at that point. And that is one thing I'll also say too. is that if you do get beat into those areas, it's also another thing that's important to note with these guards, is that they will go to that corner if it's available, and you jumping is something you can usually rely on at least a decent bit. Now, as you can see, we have Bonnie take away that right now, and he's really not getting over there, and as you can see, once again, denying it. Unfortunately, he's not able to move super clean, and then the pop slip absolutely just kills Bonnie. I mean, a tough spot right here. Obviously, this is good execution, though, for the most part, though. If he just releases a little bit sooner, though, as you can see, I'm ready to step up on that. I mean, this is something we do dozens and dozens and dozens of times. It's just, unfortunately, I don't really know what exactly led him to moving toward the guard right there. But it's the principle, once again, is still there. I do feel like that's good defense. It's just, again, he couldn't move to the corner quick enough, and they get the pop slip open right there. Understand, that wasn't something by surprise, at least to me. I know pop slips to the open corner can be available, and it's something you will open up to that team as well, of something that they can obviously get to. But as long as you're prepared for that, as like the two of you, I don't think that's something that you should be too worried about as far as the execution goes. Now, as you can see, the guard already fell into the trap right here. He's on that short side of the court. This is exactly what we're talking about. Forcing a situation where you have 3 offensive players all on one half of the court. If you take this basket, cut it right down the middle of the court right here, all 3 of them, all 6 players for that matter, are all on the same half of the court. That is what we're looking for, and as you're going to see, the guard tries to get out of this because he sees it's a terrible spot. Bonnie, though, on the hip ride, playing really good defense right there, and gets a bump on the guard, probably loses an adrenaline for that matter too, and then still gets a 7% contest. It's the type of stuff you have to do as a guard when you fall into the trap like that, and it's not where you want to be, I promise you that. So once again, Bonnie, take away his right here, force him left. As you can see, impede that movement, force him to me over here, and now as you can see the pop slip, Bonnie's ready for it. I'm up on the you know, the top of the key, and we're okay with a dunk in that case. We're up by like, you know, 7 in this situation, and obviously get ball right after that too, so now it's back to 7 just like that. Once you get these early leads, this is where you can feel a little bit more comfortable giving up some wide open takes to the 2 if you really have to. But still, I do like kind of, you know, not letting people escape the dungeon. I'm down to let them just come out here and really try and get some points, but not be able to get a single thing. So once again, this is the clip that you're seeing in the intro where I just want to break it down one more time, even though we already did in the intro, so I won't spend too much time on this. But as you can see, Bonnie taking away the right early, forcing him into the left. Me playing a little bit soft on this. I'm okay with him taking space to the left, as you can see. Like, the thing is, I'm not cutting him off from the left because I want him to go left. If this were ProAm, what I would want to do is take away his left early, like get there super early to stop him from moving here because it's so obvious he's going to, right? But I kind of want him to move there. So I'm just going to play a little bit soft, play a little bit off right there. And as you can see, he drifts all the way into the deep corner. Now that he takes that corner away, I'm absolutely denying it. I am not letting him get to that corner. What I was going to do in this case, also just for a little bit further information, I was going to just show the corner and let Bonnie take this once I see the slip go down. Because once I see the slip, I would normally just go down with the big man and let Bonnie take this guard. But as you can see, Bonnie, low-key, a little bit late to get to him. I felt like he was probably getting beat right there. And that's probably what the guard thought too, is that I was going to go down with the slip. And then the guard would have a wide open fade because he thinks Bonnie's going to be the one guarding him. But guess what? I've talked about this in previous videos. I don't know if it's really something I want to make a whole separate video on. But Kitchen right here is a huge difference maker off that corner. I mean, that is something where I can make a play like that and go play the help defense to that corner, and then Kitchen's still doing things that guards can normally do as well. But like being able to crash out the corner and grab the rebound on a double team on the guard. But if Kitchen was on a small guard, I wouldn't be able to make a play like that, and we wouldn't get the rebound is what I'm saying, because he wouldn't be as big and capable of swinging down like that. And if I were to step out and our 2 rebound capable players were neither of them on the big man right there, we wouldn't have a rebound. It's just as simple as that. Check this out too. Make the lockdown fall, or I guess the guard for that matter, and then I end up getting a floater on his head right there as well. 17-7. We obviously have this one wrapped up for the most part. You know, you might see a couple of miscues here and there at the end still, but we did what we had to do to even get the win right here, as you can see. So anyway, the guard trying to get to that open corner again. Bonnie's there for the contest. I snag the rebound over their big man. Game's over. Blah, blah, blah. We can get to the end of this one. Anything else we do from this point doesn't even matter, obviously. But you can see they did get a couple extra points. It was like 7, then 10, then 13, blah, blah, blah. They get a couple of threes. Either way, even still after 2 threes that you didn't even see on like the gameplay, it's still 5, 3, and 5. 2 for 6 from the guard, while we didn't miss a single shot and only had 1 turnover. So again, it's the type of execution that I think is important, but I understand if you see this video and you think to yourself that it's not like the most game-breaking thing you've ever seen. I'm just trying to put you guys on to a good tactic that I think you can implement into your game. simply put. Okay, so I want to show you one last gameplay, and this one is going to be probably the worst execution that we had of it, of all the ones that I had. Granted, it's a new concept that I'm implying to the team right here, or applying to the team, I should say, and it's definitely a work in progress that we're getting on ourselves. It's just, I wanted to show you it, and you can work on it yourself while I'm also working on it with my team. We just played ProAm for the first time, so we implemented this on the ProAm, where we were trying to take away the hash that was like open and force him toward the spot up hash, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, aka force them toward the stack side is what we would call it, or the side with the wing spot up and the corner spot up. Anyway, point being, I just wanted to show you this gameplay because it's probably the best guard we played against in this. I mean, if the dude's averaging 18 freaking points per game and an assist per game, you know that means there's only 21 points that can be scored in a game. If he's assisting on one of them and it's like 2 or 3 points, and then he's also scoring 18 points per game, he's probably winning a lot of games. I'm gonna be real with you. And if he's not winning them, he's contributing in a way that's insane as far as the offensive production. And then he's still playing with teammates, as you can see, that's chipping in like 3 points per game. So it's like I just said, he's assisting about 1 per game. But anyway, 99-3, 94 ball handle, 91 speed of ball, classic small guard of doom on the stage. I just wanted to show you implementing this type of a style against them. But again, it's probably our worst execution of it, so just take it with a bit of a grain of salt. But anyway, once again, wrapping Kitchen up right there, going for the fade off rib, boom, hits the 3. I mean, we're already off to a great start offensively. Now, I'm going to try and take away that right. Like I said, I'm going to push him toward Tyson in the middle. You won't really see great defense, though, in this game, just to warn you, obviously. But anyway, a little bit of off-ball movement right there. I get kind of beat to my own corner. I mean, I broke my own rule, but unfortunately, it's the type of things that these guards can do to you sometimes. I mean, it's like, it's hard to cage them entirely, bro. You know, I mean, it's definitely not an easy look. Then, as you can see right here, I'm trying to get my right, but he beats me over there. Thankfully, I force my way over there and get the bump on him, probably make him lose at least 1 adrenaline. Now, as you can see, it's a little bit of a pre-switch. I leave Tyson on an island, and as you can see, that's the tough thing that you got when it comes to the switches. You got to cover for the side of the person that just left you. I'm sure Tyson will get a lot more comfortable with that with more reps that we also implement, because obviously I've had a couple of people I've been playing with, whether it's Bonnie or Apollo or Kitchen, that I've played with for years, and we've talked about these types of ideologies and stuff. So he's as new to it as you guys are probably, because this type of terminology is like something that I've talked about over the years, but this is my first year actually playing with Tyson. So not exactly as much, chemistry on the pre-switches and stuff. As you can see, though, I stay up on this one. We get the board, fortunately, and this is like a little bit better defense, except it's not really like our talking point quite as much in the video. And then, unfortunately, Kitchen, as you can see, I was going back for the reset to set us up a little bit cleaner on offense. Kitchen takes a bit of a bad shot right there, and especially considering I'm not down for rebound at all, so it's going to be a tough look. Then, as you can see, once again, super long run where they just end up running to that corner right there. Let's see if there's any way we could talk about how to guard this better, though, because to be real with you, I think this is one of those tough situations where you either give up a wide open 2 for me to hold the hand a little bit to the right here, or Tyson just at the end of the day is just not fast enough, as you can see. I mean, he's doing his best right there. He ends up, what he probably could have done is jump at the very least, to be real with you. But yeah, obviously with the big man going down in the slip, I have to take him, so it leaves Tyson very vulnerable one-on-one with that guard, and his alignment was set up a lot more to one side. Now, Kitchen, once again, a little bit of a bad shot, but it's okay. It ends up creating a good one. No dip right there with him off that legend dimer, and then he's able to get the shot back off the O board. We get another 3-pointer up. So good ball right there. As you can see, though, they're going to go to a little bit more of an ISO now, and this is where it might be tough, and it's what I actually mentioned in yesterday's video. This is a bit of a tougher style to guard, if you ask me. Get the screen out of the way and just get the ISOs from the 3 off the fades, with like nobody to just double team off of or anything like that. I think it'd be pretty tough. As you can see, Kitchen doing kind of the same thing, and I'm just down for the rebound on their lockdown. Kitchen's ISOing more on their big man, and their lockdown can't really board up with me. So like Kitchen can just ISO up top with no screen. I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of people complaining about screens and stuff like that in this game. I think this is the harder way to guard it, if you ask me, fellas. Truth be told, I mean, we could double team this guy all day if the big man just couldn't shoot, But like, since he's just like able to pop and stuff like that and staying on the 3, the guard's able to just fade from 3 off the ISO a whole lot more. And also, this is the state of the game we're in too. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it really is though. Kitchen needs to just be passing me this ball sooner, to be real with you. We've talked about this plenty of just like, we're up by 3, or we're up by 4. You get the 2 points right there. We're up by 6. It's a plenty good take. You don't have to actually think that you need a 3 every possession in this game to compete with these guys. Now, obviously, you can understand the ideology of that type of a thing, though. Kitchen has takeover. We have a ton of time left on the clock, and obviously, and you can see a bit of a tough pass for me. I'm even doing the next possession too. But yeah, like obviously, we can take our 2s though. Is kind of my take. But I understand why you would think that's not the case, though, in this game when the 3 hunting from the guards is so powerful. But anyway, as you can see, a little bit of an ISO from the guard once again, a little bit of a dex. He's moving around. I'm going to take my left right here. Guard takes a bad midi shot right there, and now I'm going to run back to the reset. As you can see, once again, the guard is feeding off that Tyson corner. I'm thinking I'm just not going to pass to Tyson because I'd rather pass to Kitchen in terms of like the shot making ability. Tyson is at the end of the day a 78 3-pointer, but man, that guard was reading me like a book right there. I can't lie. Two possessions in a row running from corner to corner. That's crazy, bro. So bad reads by me, but it's whatever. We end up beating these guys 21-12. Guard ended up getting like, you know, a couple of good shots, and I must say that will happen. But I mean, this is okay. This is an overall good product, if you ask me. Holding them to 12 points as a team. I mean, we almost doubled their point total. That's like good hoops at the end of the day, you know. But I understand. Not everything's gonna be perfect, and I understand if people are critiquing the gameplay a little bit because I'm not putting my best foot forward in terms of like visual product of us completely shutting someone down, but it's unrealistic in this game, to be real with you. And real quick, before we end the video, I want to talk to you guys about some defensive ideology and mindset real quick. Okay, so I'm just gonna add some throwaway gameplay right here because I wasn't planning to post it or anything like that. Low-key crazy comeback though if you do want to watch it, but I just wanted to make a quick little talking point on you as a lockdown. So like, if you're someone that is a defensive player in this game and you feel like it's not your kind of game because it's not fun, and you don't want to be a lockdown in 2K26 where clearly there is no defense, right? That's what a lot of people are saying. Here's the thing though. If the expectation offensively is to be cooking, if it's to be, you know, shooting at an 80 to 90% field goal percent for these top guards or anything like that, if you're the guy that's forcing them to not do that, you're making a difference. You have to understand that, like, in a world where offense prospers, to be a good defender means mountains more than it ever has in the past. Whereas if it's a game where you're just spamming your X button, getting pluck steals 24/7, you're getting like 3 steals a game like launch of like 2K23 was, for instance, and locks are just extremely overpowered, you don't stand out as a lockdown at all. You're not actually a difference maker, you're just doing what every lockdown does. So, in a world where it's hard to be a lockdown, if you're someone that puts a lot of time into this and hones your craft on it, you can make a true difference in the game and actually be one of the best lockdowns there is in this game. Whereas, again, if every lock is a good lock in, you know, other 2Ks, you don't really make a difference at all. You're just there and playing the role. So I just want to say that as words of encouragement to people who are playing as lockdowns in this game. I don't think you should lose hope on the idea of playing defense just because it's hard to. At the end of the day, every stage game on 3s or every like park game on 3s, 5s, 2s, whatever the case may be, it's going to be hard to get stops. Obviously, that's just what the game has come to, you know? But if you're able to do that at a higher rate than others, that's all that really matters. I know life, like, you know, comparison is the thief of joy, but honestly, in this case, if you ask me, comparison's all that matters. You don't have to be like someone that's making every point guard hate its life or anything like that. You just have to be making them hate their life more than the other guy does. That's my take, or at least than your teammates do. In this world of 3s especially, where like it's more of like a, you know, give or take kind of offense, defense, and then big man kind of role, essentially, right? With like a lock guard and then big. But anyway, that's all for video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on noties, all good stuff. Like always, try this one to 1,000 likes. And if you did make it to the end of the video and you did enjoy, feel free to drop a comment that says Bonnie in the comment search per mail all the way through. Shout out Bonnie. I don't know. I was just seeing him right there. Anyway, I would show the end of this 2's gameplay, but I don't want this video to go on forever. We end up coming back and winning this. Cool ball. You know, we end up getting the streak breaker or whatever. Get our little 2,500 VC. It actually wasn't really anything. I think we might have been trying to pull up on the MVP. But anyway, that's all. I just wanted to leave you guys with those words of encouragement. And it's not me being a you know, life coach or anything like that. It's just truly saying I think you have more value to the game than you think if you're on the defender role in 2K26. So anyway, that's all. Hope you all enjoyed in this little extra tip that we had with the video. I hope that the concept actually applies to your gameplay and you can take it and, you know, add it to your bag a little bit defensively as a team. So anyway, that's all. Hope you enjoyed. And that, take it easy, man. Peace.